Good morning and welcome to another spectacular webcast brought to you by yours truly, Seth David from the world famous Nerd Enterprises Incorporated. Today we're talking about how to make $100,000 in a month. And no, this is not a sales gimmick. This is not about some sales program, right? You're going to see it's actually about a very logical approach from an accountant's perspective on how to do this. And we're also going to bring some of the philosophy into this too, because I think it's important. So, first things first. The first step towards this, and here's the philosophical part, is you have to be able to think you can, right? There are two kinds of people, those who think they can't and those who think they can, and they're both usually right, okay? So that's part one. So you have to think you can, and don't think, oh, well, when this happens, I can, or when that happens, I can. There's enough memes on the internet, on Facebook alone, reminding us of why we can't do that, why that doesn't work, right? You'll spend your whole life waiting for that thing to happen. If only I just had him or her, or if only this kind of person came into my life. Stop waiting and start doing, start taking the action. If it means you got to hire some people, hire some people. If to do that you've got to raise some money, then go raise some money. Or work towards it on your own, get halfway to the $100,000 a month mark, and then you should have money to start hiring people to scale so you can get all the way there, right? Whatever that takes, the point is this. Approach from the perspective of a true accounting nerd, you can make $100,000 as follows. By selling a product for a specific value in sufficient quantity to generate the sales you need to make $100,000 this month. Now, before you run away thinking, tell me something I don't know, because that's the whole problem, is you know it, but you've never done anything about it. If you're watching this video, I assume it's because you haven't ever made $100,000 in a month, right? Because you think about it and you think, yeah, well, sure, I can sell one product a month that's worth $100,000. Great, but you don't have that product. So it's not going to be that simple. And you know it. You know it, but you don't do anything about it. So here's what you can do about it. You can create a plan. And the plan is where you take a look at what you offer and what you charge and stop just thinking about it. Set it down on paper or a spreadsheet like I'm going to show you in a minute. And then you have a concrete plan. Abstract thoughts don't convert to dollars. Concrete plans do. If you want to make $100,000 a month, the first thing you have to do is think you can. The second thing you have to do is sketch out a plan. So let's take a look at a plan, and I'm going to use my own products as the example. So I have a lot of products that I offer. I have a lot of videos, subscriptions, things people can sign up for. We do consulting where we charge a monthly fee and work on companies' accounting, and more the base accounting stuff is being automated, so we're making this move towards more advisory services. The accounting's done, let's analyze it, right? You've got your own bookkeeper, great. Let's analyze the data compiled by that bookkeeper, starting with the balance sheet and the profit and loss. Let's see how we can look at that information and use it to figure out what's working and what isn't, and to figure out how to exploit opportunities to grow and scale our clients' businesses, right? That's what the accounting advisory services is really all about. That's what we're specializing in more and more these days. So, how do I make $100,000 this month? We want to start with some of our bigger ticket items, right? We typically will sell fewer of them, but those are the lowest hanging fruit that can get us towards that $100,000 monthly fee, right? So I have just created a course which will show you how to do things exactly like what I'm doing right here and now. How to make a video, right? It teaches you how to write content, optimize that content, and then make the video to go with that content so you can put it on your blog, put it on YouTube, share it on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest, all of it, so that you can bring in traffic in the form of people who are interested in the stuff that you have expertise in. Because, of course, the videos like I'm doing here demonstrate what you're an expert in. And this way you don't have to sell when you get on the phone with people. They already know you know what you're doing because they saw your video. All you have to do now is explain to them how your services work. I've had that going on in Nerd Enterprises Incorporated for years now. Inbound traffic calling me every day. The first thing they all say is, I was just watching one of your videos. Sometimes I have to remind them I need to know which video because I have a lot of them, right? So become a content creation machine is a course I just went live with just before the weekend. And to give you context timing-wise, it's February 25th, 2019, the day I'm recording this at 8:30 in the morning. So that course sells for $297 right now. I'll probably increase it, but obviously in the beginning, I'm trying to generate interest. So here's our price per unit. Right, here's our product. Okay, the next thing is I have a new course. This is the most complete, thorough course I've ever seen on how to do accounting. From, the basics, everything from, if you're an accountant, getting a client in, setting them up, onboarding, automating that onboarding process, and then through every nook and cranny of QuickBooks Online, so that there's nothing you won't know how to do. There's no tricky transaction you won't know how to record. So this is called the Accounting Mosaic. Right, and it's a complete picture of the skills and apps you need. That's the name of the course, a complete picture. Skills and apps you need. Okay, now that's pre-selling for $2,500 while it's in production. As of this recording, I've completed recording the entire first 2 sections of the course, not $25,000. I would love to charge $25,000 for that. After the pre-sale period, once the full course goes live, it's going to go up to $3,000. So I have a coupon I'm giving out to sell that for $2,500 while I'm pre-selling it, and it's scheduled to go live on April 1st. So yeah, we have a little more than a month. Next thing, I have a 5-hour support plan. And then I have my 97 and up program, which is my program where I mentor other accountants and bookkeepers and show them how I'm running, building, and growing my own practice. So here's the price per unit. Here's the quantity needed for 100,000 in sales. That's assuming I was going to do it with one of these products alone, right? All right, so don't run away. We're not nearly done yet. So I take 100,000 and divide it by the unit price. So now we can start getting some perspective on this, right? Let's just format these like numbers. So in order to reach $100,000, only selling this course, I would need to sell 300 and let's just call it 37 people, right? Let's get rid of the decimals on these. We can't have partial people. Okay, so I need to sell 337 of these. I'd need to sell, if I was just doing the Accounting Mosaic, I would need to sell 40. I would need to get 40 people to sign up. This actually doesn't seem so far out of reach. Inside of a month, I probably could do this. I just need to set aside the time to talk to the people and explain to them about the course. This is not the kind of thing that I'm going to expect to sell just by putting links out there online and writing blog posts, right? This requires a phone call and a conversation because this is aimed at people who are really looking to build or launch or grow a career in being a bookkeeping or accounting professional, okay? My 5-hour support plan is pretty low-hanging fruit, but I'm not going to sell 67 of these, nor do I want to commit to 67 times 5 hours, right? But that would be, actually, if I was going to focus just on doing 5-hour plans, this is where I log in remotely with people and they say, hey, I need to learn how to do X, Y, Z, whether it's learning how to use QuickBooks Online or Airtable or Smartsheet or any of the many apps that I can teach people how to use. This is that program. And we have other plans, but this is the one that we sell most often because a lot of people come in saying they think they need an hour. I say, no, I think you're going to need more than an hour. Let's start with a 5-hour plan. We'll see where we get at the end of 5 hours. We'll know if we need more, right? But oftentimes when people describe to me what the nature of the help that they need is, that's what it comes down to is it's going to be more than an hour, maybe not more than 5 though. Then I have the 97 and up. If I focused only on getting people signed up for 97 and up, I'd have to get 1,000 people in, obviously at $97 each to get $100,000 in a month. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to break this down into a product mix. I want to blend it because I'm not going to focus on just selling one of these, right? I want to sell a mix of these. So we're going to blend it and we're going to look at each one, quantity sold and total sales based on that. All right, simple formula, total sales equals the price per unit times, with an asterisk, the quantity sold. I'll copy that down. And now let's see what I can do in terms of mixing this up. This course, $297, fairly low in price, especially for something like this. It's got hours and hours of content that walk you through step by step, like I said earlier, how to write a blog post, optimize it, how to produce the video, how to edit the video, everything all the way up to getting that video up on YouTube. So let's say I can get 50 people signed up for that course in a month. I think that's pretty realistic, actually. For the Mosaic course pre-sales, I'll say I can probably do 25. I probably need to get 100 phone calls scheduled to get 25 people signed up for that course. It's a lot of phone calls, but if this is what I want to do, then I have this, and this is why we have to do this, by the way, because it starts to become crystal clear what kind of focus I need in order to accomplish this. And that was my point in the beginning. This isn't some magical sales program, right? I'm not going to tell you that this is a shortcut where you're going to be able to do it with minimal effort. No, you have to work your ass off, but the point is you can do it when you start laying things out the way I'm doing here. All you have to do, and of course I'll give you this template if you don't want to recreate it yourself, is plug in your own products and prices to see what kind of a mix you need to come up with. 5-hour support plan, let's say I can get 15 of those sold, right? And then my 97 and up program, I don't even want to spend the time trying to get 1,000 people at just $97 a month. Let's call it 25. Let's see where that gets me. Right on the mark. Right on the mark. That's what I need to do in the next month if I want to do $100,000 in a single month. Goal. Right, done. Let's make that stand out. Make it nice and purty. That's what I need to do. That's how you build your plan. Guess what? If you want help with this, if you want help, I did this years ago with a bookkeeper who, well, I've done this with a lot of people, but one particular bookkeeper came out to me recently and said, you know, I really have to thank you. There was one session you did with me, and basically what I did with her was exactly what you've just seen me do here. And she said her practice blew up because she got focused. She saw the numbers right in front of her. She knew what she had to do. She stopped screwing around on Facebook, wasting time. I'm not saying you should never go on Facebook. I'm saying if you go on Facebook, understand what you're there to do, whether it's because you've decided this is downtime and this is how I want to spend it, or you're on Facebook because you're in there learning, developing, growing, or prospecting for business. I get a lot of business through Facebook. A lot of people message me through Messenger while I was getting ready to record this blog post. Somebody reached out to me on Messenger explaining that they were looking to revive a business of theirs and looking for my help. So it's not that Facebook is all bad. It's just that you have to understand, and everything has to have context, right? What am I doing? Why am I doing it? Is this getting me closer to my goal? This, my friends, is how you can make $100,000 a month. You can do this. You just have to take the time. Stop just thinking about it. Lay it out like I've just done, using it for your own business. If you want the template, I'll link it up in the blog post. You're going to end up probably, a lot of you are not going to pay attention here, and you're going to request access. Don't request access. Just click File and then make a copy, and you'll have your own editable copy of this template, or you can download it and get it right into Excel if that's your preference. As you can see, I've done this in Google Sheets. I'm a big fan of Google Sheets, much more so than Microsoft Excel for a lot of reasons, which I can get into in another video on another day. As always, I hope you learned something here, had some fun along the way. I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day, and I look forward to seeing you on the web.